everybody, and welcome back to Gale and Darling finally solve Nagito's murder. Because it's vitally important that we bring this heinous criminal to justice for the crimes they've committed against Skyrim and her peoples. Skyrim being me and her peoples also being me in specific.
You wanna know what I think?
What?
I think he's not really dead.
You know, I would love it if he wasn't really dead.
I think he's not really dead because none of this is real.
I mean, I'd be cool with that. I also would love to buy into the theory he's not really dead because now Nagito is available on Switch. So...
Not Danganronpa the game, just Nagito.
Nagito is now on Nintendo. You can find him on Nintendo Switch.
Personal assistant Nagito. Turn left for hope. Turn right for despair that leads to hope.
So, we are on the elevator. I don't really want to go too far and, waste too much time on our hypotheses.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, really, we just really don't have anything to go off of other than, the vague thoughts we've already discussed, so...
I think we've led ourselves further and further away from the actual answer.
Yeah.
So we keep throwing out unrelated ideas.
Yeah. I can agree with that. So, we're just going to hop into this, and we're going to see where this game's about to take us. So, elevator ride, last time was to Hope So Don't. Let's worry about things after we're finished.
After you're finished.
Right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. This elevator ride has been going on for days.
Damn it.
The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is going to go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. I know we all wanted to, because he deserved it.
I don't believe it either, Fuyuhiko.
Do you think Soda dyes his hair?
No, he's an anime character, so I'm gonna go with his hair just happens to come out pink.
Right. We have 3 people with naturally white hair, and then gray, brown, and pink hair left.
Well, I mean, Chiaki's got more of a brownish tint to her white hair. She's not, blonde.
A bit. Yeah, this is a bad angle for hair.
Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. He pretty much solved them for us. So this is going to be tough. Yeah, you're right. I didn't do much at all.
I mean, at least we don't really need to figure out the motive.
I mean, I honestly, part of these games, I kind of wonder why nobody kills the main character who's clearly, solving all the murders. If I was going to plan to kill someone in order to get out of a school
because
situation.
They've seen how hard it is for us to solve those murders.
No, but we always get there. So it's honestly, in the first game, I would have been alright, you gotta kill Kirigiri because she's freaking solving everything and knows how to, get these crimes solved. You're going up against the hardest difficulty if you leave her alive. So try to kill her. Makoto, your main character, also is freaking, part of the super solving things squad. So, I would have gone for one of them two. And in this game, I would have gone for Hajime, who's solving everything, Chiaki or Nagito. Because getting one of them out cripples the investigative process. We're probably going to see that now. We're probably all going to be this is really tough. And we wish Nagito were here to give us his incredible insight onto murders. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. Exhibit A.
I thought of something during the break that I want to throw out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very feasible that Chiaki also did the final Dead Room.
Yes. As the ultimate gamer, I wouldn't be surprised if she took on the ultimate game, life or death game.
The deadliest game.
But even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight.
Except for the one who killed him. They can just, go sit in a corner or something so we're done.
They must fight to act like they care. We must fight. Ding. Dinner's
Fries are
ready.
done.
And then the door slowly opened. The bright light greeted us. That's not what that said at all, but, tenses, who cares? Is that the light of hope, Nagito? Or the light of despair, Nagito? It's the light of grunge.
Well now.
Now that Chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Just odd observation. And maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. This murder seemed to be the least tied to location. Right? Like, it happened in the plush factory, sure. But it didn't feel like we had a lot of, interaction with this new area.
Yeah.
Unlike previous
This one also
islands.
felt really quick.
Yeah. Because, in, the funhouse, obviously, we were in the funhouse. That was, the most location heavy.
This was only, 3 episodes before the investigation started.
Yeah. The Titty Typhoon, we had that whole thing of we were constantly in the, between that, the hotel.
So much we had to do with Titty Typhoon.
Yeah, the hospital.
Every opportunity we had to say the word Titty Typhoon.
Yeah, and then the previous one, we were all at the beach in the diner, and, we had the whole Hope Speak Academy thing going on, where clearly Hope Speak Academy wasn't Hope Speak Academy, whatever. So, this one just feels like we kind of came, and then it was pick a building, that's where the murder happened. So...
Yeah, well, we're getting to the good stuff. Enough, just start this already. Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Nope.
Yep.
It sure is.
You liar! It never is!
Not. So, you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
Or maybe Monokuma learned from last time. He's like, I'm not letting you guys give me a final class trial where you kill me. I've learned from that mistake. I've come back from the dead once. I ain't going back again.
All right.
Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end.
I'm angry.
Now then.
Let's get this class trial started.
What if... Okay. Other theory. Again, going with the we just keep throwing theories out there that
What
get
if
progressively...
Monokuma did it?
Yeah. I
thought about that because he would be doing it to prevent the killing the rest of the students or revealing some vital information. But
Monokuma, quote unquote Monokuma, killed the last person in the previous game. The last trial, the answer was Monokuma did it. / Monokuma's real identity. I guess I won't spoil it for people who don't know.
I think we already have, but that's fine. In case you're just hopping in here.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I threw Monomi out. I wouldn't be surprised if this trial, it's not one of the characters, and it's Monomi or Monokuma or Nagito or some other. It wasn't any of you at all. It was random person.
So your money's between Chiaki and one of the non-student characters?
Really, my bets are between Chiaki or someone outside of, the people standing in this trial, and it's gonna be what a twist.
Yeah. My leading theory is still that it's him. Which I know is impossible. I think it's him with an accomplice. It's my leading theory.
Okay.
Viva killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other.
I thought we were done with that part. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Komeda, the ultimate lucky student. Aww. He's not as buff in this image. If you the Switch trailer reveal for the summertime when he just jump scares you and he's over you and he's just got his pecs out. It's just funny.
Dear?
Yeah?
That's not what I saw. Have you been consuming a bit too much fan art there?
No, that's what the trailer showed. I'm not making this up.
I mean, when I saw, I thought it was still scrawny.
No, he was in his swimsuit and he had two, he didn't have abs, but he had two very defined pectoral muscles.
Okay, dear. Okay. Okay, dear. Okay. Okay. I see what you pay attention to. It's okay. It's okay. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
When I first met him, I thought he was a nice and hot guy. He came across as very sociable.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Not.
But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance of being totally hot.
Ooh, that's a face.
He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that could overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up, but there were also times he saved us too, as he slunked carefully across the screen. It totally didn't freak any of us out. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. I mean, that's the end for most people, is when they're killed, but for him, it was definitely when he was killed.
Pocket watch, or is that just part of his...
He's got a pocket chain. Maybe it's a watch.
I wonder if it's connected to his chain wallet.
And I have no idea at all who did it, but I will murder them!
Well, it wouldn't be murder. Murder is wrongful killing.
Oh. I will justifiably end their lives!
Better.
There's no way we can end this without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. Oh god, this page is just dead people. That's why we absolutely had to find out. The person who finished off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. Okay. This is like 5% possible in my brain.
Okay.
But it would be kind of funny if the hint for who Monami was and the traitor was that Monami tries to fight Monokuma and Akane also tries to fight Monokuma.
And they both keep losing.
And Monami's not all that smart, and so it turns out it's just Akane. And she's like kind of faking it this whole time, but she also isn't exactly the smartest character, and so some of it is literally her just being like, alright, I can beat up people, but also, yeah, I need a little help figuring out who killed these people.
Can I be honest?
What?
I think you're definitely right that it's Chiaki. The notebook thing is also continuing to mess with me, but I don't want it to be her, so I'm refusing to accept it.
Alright. I'm glad that you've admitted that. You know, that's the first step to solving your problem, is admitting that it's a problem.
Fair.
And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, wink wink, has begun! Save our progress, sets our skills. Trigger happy, silver spoon, ambidextrous,
Ness.
I think that's all of them.
That's all we can do right now.
Well, I think I have bought all of them.
Who is the traitor? What was the clue Nagito left? Will they be able to see the light within the darkness between hope and despair?
The light within the darkness, within the hearts, the kingdom hearts. The Xehanort comes and he knows.
Do you believe in the kingdom of the hearts, of the cards, of the despair, of darkness and the light? Come, Kairi.
That's it. Monami is Kairi. This has all been just a Kingdom Hearts fever dream. We're not actually Hajime, we're actually Sora. Riku is Nagito! We figured it out, guys! We figured out! We've solved the
Gale
mystery!
is so excited right now.
We have solved the mystery! Where's Sora? Monami and Chiaki are Kairi, and
This
Riku
has gone
is
on long
Nagito.
enough that it's making me sore. So let's go back to the trial.
Monokuma is Mickey Mouse.
I don't know what that means. I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
It means that this is all just a ploy by our capitalist overlords to keep the gunmen
Why
down.
do you have to bring capitalism into this? We know there's an evil organization, but maybe they're communist. I don't know.
Alright, finish preparations.
Trial.
Now then, let's begin. During the class trial, you will present your. If you vote correctly,
We've heard this a lot, so I apologize for skipping it if you love Monokuma's melodic voice.
Melodic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you?
She's not tied up this time.
What if Monami's the ultimate imposter? Monami is Byakuya. I just thinking who died first, because like obviously in the first game that's who Monokuma was like one of the first people who died mysteriously, and we don't have anybody in this game who died of mysterious circumstances.
This is getting more and more stupid. What if it was none of them, and he actually died of natural causes?
You can't tell, but he actually died because he had a random stroke.
You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached
Seeing a
the
spear fly toward him gave him a sudden heart attack. Oh, she's on one of the pedestals.
Yeah, she's not
She's in the trial.
she's not wrapped up anymore in rope.
Well, I know that part, but she's like,
No!
I can tell she's part of the student circle now. That would mean she's actually a candidate in the trial.
That's rough, bunny.
Mm-hmm.
One more time! Jeez! How about this one?
Is that a mother effing JoJo's reference? She said of a game that came out several years ago. I don't know. Did Japanese games make JoJo references before JoJo became popular?
Yes. Before JoJo became popular in America, yes. Because there are JoJo references everywhere.
It's useless.
Yeah, stop the slow zoom on her. I don't know what you're going for.
Burm! Like you just put the what is it? The trailer boom.
Oh, the Inception. The Christopher Nolan special.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all.
Hey everyone. I need to apologize. We had to take a quick break so that I could actually go and watch the trailer for Danganronpa for the Switch. Gale was right. He has pecs.
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
We'll just move on now. Now there's another way it gets to be inferior to Nagito. Look at that well-defined beach body and that zip-up hoodie. That's a style I don't like.
Oh, darling, you're handsome. You're absolutely wonderful.
I don't know how to respond to that on mic.
You just have to accept the compliment.
It's okay. Thank you. I know I'll never be Nagito, but I'm okay taking, 4th or 5th at this point. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal a traitor for everyone's sake.
Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
Was it you, Monokuma? Was it you stupid fluffy bear?
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait, Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
What? The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito are definitely not the same person. Probably. My guess, Chiaki's the traitor, but Monomi's the killer.
I think this is where Monomi's going to reveal the traitor might not know they are the traitor.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Though if I say Chiaki's the traitor and then Monomi's the killer, that implies Chiaki's not Monomi. And they're not the same person. But I also believe they might be the same person. This is a really complex thought process I've got going on, and it makes no sense to anyone, including myself. Is here, right? Oh, he's got an X. Like a letter X over his face.
Yeah.
Why?
No, X.
No, seriously, why?
Look at Nagito's.
Oh, Nagito! My boy! I miss you already.
Ooh.
I mean, I've been missing you for a while, but, like, I miss you more now. Are they the same person? Or...
I think Nekomaru's is a whistle on a lanyard. I think all of them are slightly something. Fork and knife. So you can see like a little whistle at the bottom?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence.
Mono.
There's no way I'd torture someone.
I think the getting information part is wrong because of the duct tape.
Yes.
But I don't know if that's the right line of thought that will answer this.
I think that's the line of thought they're going for. I was between that and also, like, oh, the person who found the bomb is the one who killed him, but also he died after we had found the bomb. So there's, like, right?
Did he?
He died at noon. The bomb was supposed to go off at noon.
So we know that us pushing the door open set off the chain of events that killed him.
Most likely, that's how it worked out.
Okay. Alright, let's go back through this. Is there an opportunity for us to... Was it torture? That's an interesting question.
Take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong! Because mouth breathy things, duct tape.
But
That's how you got
mouth
there?
was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't
Mouth
have been able
breathy
to confess
thing?
anything.
Duct tape, yes.
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Already
But we
Soda.
remember through Chiaki's thing that
I just
it was...
realized it. It's a trap.
What do we realize who Chuck's in?
That the duct tape was early enough. But I don't know what that part is.
Yeah, it's gonna be blood spatter that proves that, like,
Yeah,
he
that it was
died with the
outside.
duct tape on him.
Yeah.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Soda, don't call us stupid. Stupid!
Maybe duct tape?
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assumed he couldn't talk. But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated. I can't back down.
I'm not gonna press a gay! Oh god. I'm so bad at button
Tape his
mashing.
mouth shut. How is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how first the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him,
That's where you need to counter that.
they duct taped his mouth shut.
Yeah.
So duct tape on after you killed him.
Thanks to me, you guys didn't get caught in the trap.
You taped Nagito's mouth after getting information from him? True, that sounds reasonable, but that clearly contradicts the truth. If you listened to me until the very end, I wouldn't have to go to trouble repeating myself. Gosh, Soda, you're so stupid.
Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito.
Get on the right one.
Information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him,
There we go. Woo! I've gotten so much better at that minigame from
There's
like
no
the
doubt
first time we
Nagito's
played
mouth
it,
covered
and it
with
was
duct tape before
impossible.
he was beat up.
what did you say?
Who cares about
Ooh,
the
what
duct
did
tape?
you say?
Might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
Akane, that's not how you solve murder trials.
I mean, I'd be down for it.
No. Our system of government is already flawed enough without us relying on rock, paper, scissors to determine guilt.
I mean, if I'm trapped on Murder Island, but
It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
please.
Yeah,
Please,
Chiaki, do
please,
you have a crush on us
Please,
or something?
please.
Are you in elementary school or something?
Are you in kindergarten or
That's when they
something?
peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
I wonder if this comes back to someone with school memories, either.
You know?
Because it could be that Chiaki got school memories when she won Final Dead Room.
Well, the thing is, like, the only time the memories have come back was with Mikan, and it was, like, a very specific reason tied to the motive. There hasn't been
Yeah.
anything really to be like, oh, something has happened to make them gain their memories back.
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No,
I wonder who
they
does
didn't
that.
Just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
Who kind of just gets really angry and ignores all logic and just dives after something.
It's not Nagito. Nagito relies on logic.
Akane.
Oh, okay. I thought you were blaming my boy, and I was feeling
No,
defensive.
I was blaming the person who said that.
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
Was it?
You can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Except for you, Sonia. We didn't have time to draw you.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
Sonia, good try.
Killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
No, this is the one time it's right. This is the one time friendship really is the answer.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Good job, Sonia.
We're getting there.
We're teaching them all how to be deputies.
Like what?
Like the very obvious line
I
of
did not know that.
Monokuma
There has
stand-ups.
been the pattern before.
Look, come on. Like,
They gotta give us something to do, I guess.
they're not all the ultimate detectives. We gotta work with them with what we got.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is.
Hell yeah. But also, he's asking permission.
He's also growing.
He's learning. And I love it when she swears.
The reason for the fire, huh? They're right. We need to clear that up first. The reason for the
Monokuma Panels.
Yeah.
The direct cause of the fire was
Probably.
the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter. ...
Some kind of setup?
Are you still ignoring
Did
me?
they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
Fine, be that way.
We agree with that.
I'm pretty good.
We disagree with that.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter,
Clatter, clatter,
it can
clatter.
stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way,
Clatter, clatter, clatter.
it could have ignited the curtain.
Alright, going in.
Some way?
What are you doing?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Ow.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
Or
I saw
perhaps
tipped it over.
opening the door caused
Yes.
intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
No.
So we can agree with opening the door. We could agree with
I think
some
it's
kind of setup.
I think it's at the end. But I think
The oil lighter found
the-
at the crime scene,
this,
right?
yeah, this is Monomi and
killer
Monokuma
used
talking.
some
Now
kind
that
of setup.
Monomi seems like everyone is debating, why don't we
lit the
kill
curtain
some
on fire
time?
with the lighter. ...
Some kind of setup?
Are you still ignoring me?
Did they use the oil as an improvised
Fine,
fuse?
be that way. Pretty
I'm
good.
pretty
I'm
using
pretty
myself.
myself.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter,
Clatter, clatter, clatter,
it can
clatter.
stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some
Clatter,
way,
clatter, clatter,
it
clatter.
could have ignited the curtain.
Alright, it went in.
Some way?
What are you doing?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
I think it's this next one.
There should have been a way to tip it
No,
over with sound
not the
waves.
sound waves.
Or perhaps
Oh, tip it over.
opening
Oh,
the
there we
door
go.
caused
There we go.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. The most powerful word, consent.
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Sorry, I'm trying to like see all the clues, and like when I saw that those are like weird words, I was like, that's not normally what the text is like.
Sure, but we didn't get to see what he was doing. He was bowling something or like tossing something,
Yeah,
and it went in. So
they're suspicious. All right, guys, I'm watching the real suspicious individuals here.
they're not individuals; they're plushies.
It was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
Sorry, Sonia, negative deputy points. Do I have to bring back the deputy point system just to
Nah,
say-
Chiaki's too far ahead of everyone.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
It wasn't
Does that mean
obvious or
anything?
anything.
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
Yeah, dominoes.
I wonder what the original translation was like, or if they had to fill time here.
No, I think they're talking about dominoes, but it's strange. Anybody who's younger than 20 years old, you don't have to tell us your age, but in the comments, let us know if you know what dominoes are.
I think everyone knows what Domino's are. They make mediocre pizzas.
But like, let us know if you know like the actual dominoes, or if you've ever played the game Dominoes. Like that's even rarer.
I mean,
think.
I've played Domino's a couple times.
Yeah, but I think like most people haven't played dominoes like the proper way.
I've played Domino's. I've played the train version, and I've played Mahjong, which is just like fancier Domino's.
Yeah.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second.
Dude, when did you have time to make this like big printout graphic?
Don't worry. While you guys were all busy investigating the murder, I made this infographic about what the crime scene looked like.
Exhibit A.
There's also the Monokuma plushie. Oh no! What if someone was trying to kill Monokuma but accidentally killed Nagito? Like, Monokuma tied Nagito up, tortured, and like, you know, was like
And then the
rather
spear
cool to him.
meant for
And
Monokuma hit Nagito instead.
Yeah, they speared it tried to go through Monokuma plushie and ended up hitting Nagito also. And it was like, oh, I didn't mean to kill Nagito. I don't know. I don't know how the Monokuma plushie plays into this, so I'm just playing around with ideas.
Yeah.
And from there, they felt like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
Not with the MP3 playing.
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
Okay, this is stupid. Whoever planned this part of the murder, this is stupid. But also, it's the first thing they noticed, so I guess they acknowledge that it was stupid.
The killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect.
The MP3.
I see! The evidence is
We're
here!
talking about the MP3 player, right?
Yes.
That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse.
It was a
that's
hymn?
The sound of the falling panels.
The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside.
Ready for a real dumb joke?
Sure.
Did you know that Mortal Kombat was actually inspired by a Scandinavian church tune?
Oh, really?
It was a Finnish hymn.
Ha! Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something?
We're no strangers to love.
Hey, you can't sing that now!
Then they shouldn't have made it the basis of this murder. Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap?
No, I'm not talking about the music. As if on cue, it suddenly started. Fire!
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right?
In this island of murder where we're solving the murder.
I don't think
the strange
fire
things.
could have been used to burn the evidence. I think the fire was exclusively for the fire grenades for the gas. I think that's my problem with the logic. But, go ahead.
I mean, that might be because, like, Nagito wasn't burned at all.
Yeah.
Which really would have been, like,
and the fire helped us discover him because he's hidden behind the curtain. So it was either to help us discover the body.
So we can go back to the poison idea. The fire was started to dispense the poison, and then he was killed via poison, and then maybe after that, the spear had killed him?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or the poison basically just put him to sleep so that he couldn't struggle anymore. And then the spear killed him.
Yeah.
Again, removing the lucky part.
Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine. I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine.
Oh, it's jammed.
With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse.
How did they get out if they blocked the door behind them?
It's a good point. That is a good point. It was Monokuma all along. He was the plushie. He was hiding in plain sight.
That, or it was Sonia because she was never actually... Well, no, because we saw her in the warehouse.
Sonia was out
All
here.
of us were in the warehouse, so... There had to be another way out, I guess?
Huh? It's not opening? Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it.
I knew it! It's a trap! Seriously, just stop it, okay?
Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force.
What happened to opening it slowly?
Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Cha!
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
Yes.
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse, Darling was right! How the frick did somebody get out? I see, so the problem Chiaki's talking about.
We couldn't take any merch.
I see.
We couldn't steal the merch!
The panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened. The killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Nagito. Huh?
You don't mean...
But if that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. I'm ready to solve this case. I'm solving it.
This is my answer. What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
My problem with that is that the knife could not have been. He could not have stabbed his own hand.
He can't stab his own hands and tie his hands up.
Unless he, burned the one hand off, threw the knife in the air, put it down, and just happened to go through his hand.
Yeah. No, and especially because it's this early in the trial, it clearly isn't just Nagito did it to himself.
Yeah.
That's not how these trials work. So,
But like I said, Nagito with an accomplice.
Yeah, Nagito did something. How much of something we don't know.
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
Well, yeah, I didn't expect you to agree with me. What?
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Okay, so let's think about this. All four limbs were tied up, but one hand had a burn. So that hand he could have tied first, created the burn, and just pretended that he was tied up, but he wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So he had one working hand. Easily can tie the two legs. It's the other hand, you can tie it, but it's putting that stab wound in is the difficult bit.
The stab wound is not great. The fact that the whip end of the spear has blood on it that he was holding makes me think there was still a fight somewhere.
Yeah, so clearly, he held it. And maybe he hit himself or something.
I think he had started setting up the domino effect for a different reason. And then... because it was his poison. Remember, it was in his fridge that in theory no one else had access to.
Yeah.
So I think he set that up, and then something else happened that got turned on him. I think he was planning part of it, and then I think it was Monokuma or Monami that tied him up to die in, whatever happened.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Monami's acting very suspicious right now, right? She's definitely not her normal self, and it's hard to tell if that's because she, is part of the murder.
Or just for the other big plot.
Or other big plot, or she, knows that something's fishy about this murder.
And she can't tell. Yep.
So, like you said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Probably the burned rope is going to be the thing we focus on.
Yeah.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
What?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
If our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. That's okay, right? Maybe we
To actually tie up your
survival
own
Monokuma
legs.
plushie
That's obviously impossible!
as the someone who did it
Tying
for
just
him.
the legs is one thing, but
That's weird, but okay.
tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
Darn.
Or if you use your
Was that that you
front
didn't
tail?
hit it?
Is that a dirty joke?
No, I wanted to hit it, but then the thing popped up.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Random thought. What if Nagito, right, that Monokuma plushie, had a hole in it? What if Nagito had planned all this and was like, Monokuma, come help tie me up? And it actually was an elaborate trap to kill Monokuma.
I was starting to think that. Yeah.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
No. Do it! Do it right now!
Show me you tied up right now. Oh, not what I meant.
Actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's
So it could be that
impossible.
one with Monokuma
Tying
plushie.
just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Nagito should tie himself up too. That's okay, right?
Try Monokuma plushie on that first one.
Let's see. Burned rope. Alright,
So the rope. I think it could be burned rope because I think the rope was burned before he was tied up.
yeah,
Otherwise, it would have burned his hand and sleeve. I say burned rope. That or Monokuma.
Burned rope is where I'm leading to as well,
To
but it's
actually
just
tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
Man, none of these
Or
are
if you use
good.
your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
yeah. Start making
To
suggestions.
actually tie up your own arms. No.
I win.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that.
But
that was part of
really?
the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
The proof that the burnt rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap is his right sleeve.
I see.
Where does the king keep
Take a
his
close
armies?
look at his right
In
sleeve.
his sleeveys.
Ooh.
Even
Here,
though
I
the
passed
mark
around
was burned,
photos for everyone.
The sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Whoa! Akane! No, darling. No, don't get ideas.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Oh, Sonia. Sonia. No, darling. Darling, look away. This is no longer for your PG eyes. No.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Okay, Akane. No,
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
Good job, Fuyuhiko. Let's solve this particular problem.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
That could have been with his teeth.
That much is obvious.
No. Because duct tape.
Okay. It depends. If the knife was stabbed into the ground, then I have a lot harder trouble figuring out.
But it sounds like it was free, with just into his hand.
Yeah, so you can't
So you could just stand the knife up, stab your hand into it.
Flip it over.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
Do you take Cash App?
Do you take Apple Pay? Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Also, like, I didn't even cop a feel, so, like, no services rendered?
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand? That's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Right? Chiaki? Survival name, I don't know.
Blood on girder, maybe? Maybe it fell from the girders as well?
Right hand was free. How could he stab
Or
his
this is
right
one that we
hand
have to
with his
take.
right hand?
If you threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand
Oh,
that way?
it's girder and let the knife fall, I bet.
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Akane, stop yelling at me about the Benjamin in the subtext. I don't appreciate it. If Nagito could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm, then how did he do it?
Also, really a whole
Nagito's
Benjamin?
right hand was free.
I mean, I
How could he
guess.
stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
Nope, not the girder.
Okay.
It's wrong?
Even if
That's
Nagito's
wrong?
right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
So, we go with something with it
if
being
he
propped
threw the
up?
knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Propped it up with the Monokuma plushie?
And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife,
We got an achievement, I'm not sure for
he could
what.
have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right hand was free. How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the
Maybe
knife
he
fall,
cut the hole
he
into
stab
the
his hand that
plushie,
way?
had it in there, and then stabbed his hand on that.
Sure. Let's try that.
Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Consent! Use the plushie.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
Still doesn't explain why it was bleeding.
Well, it's his blood from when he stabbed himself.
Oh, that does make some sense.
But like that, again, not what the blood pattern would look like, and also that hole was not knife-shaped.
Also, I still couldn't get over the fact that I thought there were organs in the Monokuma plushies.
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
No, not at all.
No, much worse.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right?
What was the blue paper again?
Blue paper?
There was a scrap of paper that we found.
Oh, that was under his bed.
Right, okay, never mind.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible?
That's the hanging on the girder.
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
But, okay, here's the question.
I wonder if he was holding one end of it and then yanked it. And that would explain why the blood pattern on the spears, the whip is the way it is.
Yes. They're gonna have something convoluted for it, but also we have to answer how he doesn't have blood on the palm of his left hand, even though he got stabbed after, you know? I guess maybe the spear wound didn't go onto his palm, but that's a little weird.
It might be that it didn't reach. I think he was holding the whip until the very last second, and then when he died, he released it. That's why it is.
Yeah, but then how did blood get on the back of his hand?
Because that's where it splattered onto his hand.
Wouldn't he have released his hand by then? We'll find out next time on Gale and Darling solve Nagito's complex murder-suicide ?
Basically just proving me right. That it wasn't Chiaki.
Bye-bye! Hi there, it's the end of the video, my friend. Hit the bell if it was okay, I'm sure I'll make good content someday. I'll play some games or do some drawing, Pokemon and fights with Darling, video essays and reviews. I couldn't do it without you, so thanks, like and subscribe.